are. I'm Damien. This is Karla. And Karla's going to bring up some unique topics for us. She's going to upload this onto her YouTube channel. So please subscribe and follow. This is just an audio podcast. So for all of you listening and driving and working, and we have you in your ear, thank you. So, Karla, take
Hi,
it away.
Damien. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Doing good. I just played poker. Got fourth place. Texas Hold'em.
That's great. Do you got some money?
$60, nothing big.
Oh, okay.
Like the bigger prize is like first place was like $300. But if anything, it wasn't for the money per se. Is the camaraderie, the morality, and getting along with those people. They're friends, they're people I work with, and we do things beyond work, and that's a positive thing because you want to have a positive environment at work. So when they invite me to do things, I always say yes.
That's great. I'm happy for you.
And I think you do the same.
Yeah.
You just had what was it, breakfast yesterday?
Yeah, I went with my former coworkers and it was super good. It was great. It was amazing to see them.
I like that.
Yeah. So, basically, I just wanted to ask you a little bit about your life in New Jersey. And I was curious about paranormal experiences in New Jersey, just because I was watching a podcast the other day about paranormal experiences that other people have
Right.
in their states and places where they grew up. And I don't remember having one in particular, but I'm pretty sure that probably you have.
You never had any in
tell
Puerto Rico? Because my grandfather told me about, actually both sides of my grandparents. My grandmother in Lares, Puerto Rico, there was a story about a ghost appearing and showing where the treasure was, and the treasure started to lift, but there was an extra person there, so the ghost attacked that person, and they had to get a bruja to get the spell off of him. Because
really?
he was heavy breathing and almost dying because he wasn't supposed to be there. The ghost only told two specific people, but then, Don Cinco, that was his name, he went and the ghost attacked him like, you're not supposed to be here.
Oh my God.
And then they saw the treasure lift and then it started to sift and go back down.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't remember something in particular that happened to me at my house, but I have seen strange things,
You've seen strange things in Puerto Rico?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But I'm more interested on the things that you have seen in New Brunswick.
Well, so this house was haunted in New Brunswick. A lot of weird things. Like now when I look back as an adult, I shouldn't have had those dreams. And also my sister had shared dreams. My mother and several people that would stay over the house would always see things or hear things, plates clanking. When I was a little boy, I would have nightmares that there was a Jesus statue downstairs, and whoever or whatever this was attacking me in my dreams and disguising itself as Jesus, but I knew it wasn't Jesus. So it's like his eyes were like yellow, and he would like drag me down to the basement and like try and attack me, but I would wake up and fight.
That's crazy. That was a dream that you had?
It was recurring dreams. So I was being attacked by these demon features, and I remember as I was getting older that I remember seeing them having like black eyes and like vampire teeth.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So my sister and I would have these nightmares, but we noticed when we would pray or just do like religious things, they wouldn't happen.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, as we were moving, we found like some type of a trunk upstairs. And lo and behold, like my mother didn't tell me, there was a pentagram drawn. So whoever had the house before us were Satan worshipers.
What?
And we believe that some type of a gateway or something was opened. Yeah, because my mother one time, she said she saw like a little person floating but with no feet. And then my uncle's friend, she stood over the house in the 80s, and the same thing, she said, she just woke up screaming because she said she saw like a pig's head floating. So like people would see things. So now that we left in 1998, and then my dad sold the house to his brother. Fast forward to 2006, 20 years ago, I pulled my uncle to the side and I said, hey, there's a room upstairs. Now, mind you, this is where I lived in the room. I said, there's a room upstairs with the window facing out towards the backyard. I said, not where your computer is, but the other one. He goes, yes. I said, between you and I, do you experience anything like ghosts or any paranormal activity? He's like, yes. He's like, at the time, his friend Marco, who came from Canada, stayed in that room and he had horrible nightmares, screaming like screaming, waking up, screaming nightmares.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, so it was something in that particular area, some in that particular room. Now the house, it's made into that typical, college type of dorm type of thing. Not really a dorm, but where they rent out rooms. So it's like the Latin family or immigrant family, and what is supposed to be a 3-bedroom house, it has like 10 people in there, and they turn the patio into a room. They turn, the living room into a room. Like it's all like apartments. It's like small things. It was just not supposed to be that way. So even if I wanted to go in there and ask like, hey, what's going on with the basement? Or like, hey, what's going on with this room? They were like, what the hell are you talking about? Or like, oh, we don't know who's in there. So
Yeah, it was private property, basically, right? Because another person was living there.
exactly. But there was always something negative that you could feel it, you could sense it. And, mine was the nightmares. And also things would happen in the house that just weren't right. So like you would hear like plates clank, you would hear doors close, you would hear footsteps on the steps. So I would think it was my dad, but it was like, wait a minute, he's not here.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was just a lot of negativity. When we all left the house, we were all happier and nicer. But when we were in there, it was a very volatile, angry place.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And I'm trying to think what else that I saw paranormal wise. I guess it was in New Orleans when I went on the trip to New Orleans.
Oh my God. I cannot imagine like living in a house that all those situations are happening. How old were you?
I was a little boy. I grew up in that house. So basically from when I was a baby until I was about 11, it didn't happen all the time. It didn't happen every day. It was sporadic. But when it happened, oh boy, did it happen.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So, and also like I was, I still am, always have like a good intuition, like it runs in my family. Like my mom's clairvoyant. My sister's like a clairvoyant. Like they could see and sense things.
Oh.
They see spirits or they see apparitions. I can't really see them. I don't laugh unless I'm like intoxicated. And that's what happened in New Orleans. We were in New Orleans and, someplace off of like Bourbon Street. I forgot where it was, but we did some type of a tour and we had the hurricane drink and it was cheaply made and I was really intoxicated. But I told the guys, I was like, I could sense things. I could see things like my parents. And they're like, yeah, okay, whatever, Damien.
Of course.
Right. And then what happened was in the window, I saw this woman and she was dressed like in Victorian like stuff. And I drew her. And then I gave it to the tour guide. And he's like, who gave you this? I said, I just drew it because I told them that I saw her in the window. He's like, what window? What building? I said, that one right there, the one that you said that Nicolas Cage owns. He goes, I didn't get to that part yet. I was like, what part? He goes, you'll hear. And then apparently it's some type of a woman that would hold like slaves in there and torture devices. Some of them died. They were like in the walls and stuff. And they always said that you would feel or sense somebody following you, which I did.
Oy.
All the way back to my hotel. And then like they went away and I was just like, was someone trying to like rob me? And then that's what they said. They feel like you feel like someone's following you.
I cannot be in a place like that.
And then we went to another building and we went upstairs and then they said, oh, okay, Damien, what are you feeling now? Like I said, I feel a ghost here, like a guy, like he's upset that he's like not part of the party. Like people forgot about him. He's not part of the function. And they all started laughing. And that was it. But then fast forward a year later, that place was having paranormal activity, plates being thrown and all that. And a clairvoyant said that there was a ghost of a man that used to live there and he felt like he's not part of the party. So they would put like donuts and stuff to the side for him to welcome him there. But they called me like a year later, like, oh my God, you were right. Like they couldn't believe it. And mind you, this is like a year later,
Wow. No,
So I would say that's more of my take on the paranormal stuff that's happened, but nothing too crazy.
got it.
Yeah, nothing too crazy. It was just that house and when I went to New Orleans. Those were like the 2 times in my life I would say something paranormal happened. I mean, when I was a little kid, we saw, a UAP, UFO, but that's something different. That's not paranormal. Everybody saw this in New Jersey.
Something very interesting that happened to a friend is that she was drunk, and
Hmm.
two friends from the bar decided to take her to her house because it was late and she was drunk. And they saw a light in front of their car, a bright light
Was it like in the sky or was it in front of them on the road?
in the road.
In the road.
But they say that it was potent, that it blinds them, but it lasted only 2 or 3 seconds. It was like very quick, but it was not a car. It was not a car. It was not anything, because it was a dark road.
Hmm.
And they always tell that story, that they always saw that. And mind you, these people are even like people that don't believe in God or anything. They don't believe in anything. And they saw this. Who knows?
I mean, it could be anything. I mean, Puerto Rico, my great grandfather Vidal, he was born in the late 1800s, and he told my mother stories when she's a little girl about about UFOs going into the water. It's just like all this stuff that they're talking about now that we're seeing in the Congress hearings.
Okay.
He spoke about back then in the 1960s.
Oh, wow.
Cartagena, just like areas in PR that he said that. I mean, then, he got some ridiculous stuff talking about mermaids and all that. But what I come to the conclusion with the mermaids is that I believe that they were manatees and that the sailors were like delusional, like they saw a mirage.
Who knows?
So you look in the water, the manatee, it looks like a woman. Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows? But they're just stories.
I
But
like to believe in sirens.
yeah, I mean, he would talk about mermaids, but the big one was the UFO one. And then, of course, just over the years of me talking to people, if anybody out there that or anybody that's listening, if you know someone who works in law enforcement, ask them that question if they got any reports or if they saw anything. The most recent one that was unique is Las Vegas with the two people.
Okay.
Where they were working in their backyard and they said that a bright light came out the sky, which was recorded on camera. So it's on Ring doorbell cameras and stuff like. So now you have a 911 tape. They sound genuinely scared, so it doesn't sound like a hoax.
Okay.
And then they have video where you could kind of see something. So my whole thing is like, if you don't believe it or you have questions about it, ask someone who's legitimately in the field. Ask law enforcement, ask firefighters, ask paramedics, because 9 times out of 10, they're going to say, well, yeah, this one time, because I've asked NYPD officers, I've asked, my father who's in law enforcement.
Or
Now,
paramedics.
well, he knew someone who was really deep in the government. And then he
my
said,
God.
he said, not for nothing, we'll just call him John Smith. So he talks to John Smith on the side. He goes, hey, what's up? And then he's like, listen, not for nothing. Because now in the 90s, it's starting to run a little rampant, X-Files and all that. He goes, not for nothing. Is this whole alien and UFO and Area 51, is that just all, BS, or is it for real? And he just goes, Damien, there's some things you best not know about. And then apparently my dad opened up his eyes. He was just like, okay, say no more. And he walked away from it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, I think, and then again, I spoke with a former soldier from Fort Knox, and he said that there wasn't gold there. He goes, no, there's no gold there. He goes, at least when I worked, I never saw gold come in and out. He goes, but I can tell you that whatever is down there, they do not want people seeing. So that's where they say that the Roswell, New Mexico crash, the UFO is there. They say it's there. Well, that's what he was telling me.
There's a lot of evidence.
He was my Uber driver. That was in Louisville, Kentucky. He was my Uber driver, and he said that he was a soldier at the base. He didn't go inside of it, but he was guarding the outside of it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I was just like, when you just talk to the right people, you ask the right questions,
Yeah.
you could get little bit of crumbs.
Okay.
And like I said, I saw one myself, and I want to say it was 1992 or 1993. I was a little boy, and this was in New Jersey. This was at night, so I want to say maybe it was around maybe 10 o'clock at night or 11. So in order to go from New Brunswick to New Jersey, New Brunswick to Perth Amboy, New Jersey, you could take several routes, and one of them is taking 440 into 287, and you could jump on the turnpike, or you just take the county roads. So that's what we're doing. We're leaving Perth Amboy, New Jersey on 440, which connects into 287. Now, as you connect into that roadway, it's like a very big artery. You got 287, you got the Garden State Parkway underneath you, you got the New Jersey Turnpike just a little north of you.
And it's just the countryside?
No. That's what I'm saying. It's a very big, busy area with it's like eight lanes going left to right.
Okay.
Underneath it is basically Route 9, which if you keep going, you could go to the right, or if you go left, you hit the turnpike. Or underneath it, to the left of that are larger lanes because it's the Garden State Parkway South. So this is a very big, bustling highway area.
And what did you saw?
Well, all of a sudden, we see this thing appear out of nowhere. Literally, like you blink and it just appears. The best way to describe it is like you see in the movies when a ship comes out of hyperdrive and it just goes boom, and it's right there. And it was very silver. It was metallic, but it was almost like, what's the best way to describe it? Not glitter, but like a chrome, and it was like plates, and it looked like a blimp.
Oh.
No, and everybody was pulling over. My mother was screaming. My grandparents were screaming, especially my grandfather. Man, he rest in peace. He was hilarious. And everybody was freaking out. People were pulling over on the side of the road looking at this thing.
And there's other people that saw it?
Everybody saw it because there were other people pulling over. But the problem is it's such a busy highway. So what was going on was it almost looked like a car accident because there's no emergency lane to pull over because this is a big artery. It's a big, big highway. There's no emergency lane there. So the only thing you could do is slow down. So we thought it was a car accident. And then that's when we looked over to the right, to the east, because if you look to the left, that's where the waterway is, where the Raritan River is, which goes into the Raritan Bay. If you look to the east, like you're going towards the New Jersey Turnpike, that's where it was. And it was hovering, and then maybe about 15 seconds, and then boom, it disappeared in a blink of an eye.
Wow.
No, and I remember telling my uncle, and he was laughing about it because literally the next day there was a Goodyear blimp over the area.
And it was not over the news?
It was over the news.
Oh,
but
my God.
it wasn't like the way it is now. Like back then, you just kind of hear it on 1010 Winds or on an AM station or, but people aren't just going to slow down their cars, almost get into an accident because of nothing.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
so that was my UFO experience in the early 90s.
Well, Damien, thank you so much for sharing. Mm-hmm. You have a lot of experiences here. Mm-hmm. It was very nice.
Yeah, but I've been now. You and I living out here in Phoenix. There's been a lot here.
Yeah.
1997, the Phoenix Lights, and I've been looking, haven't seen them. Apparently, they reappeared in 2018, but I wasn't here for that. You were here for that.
No.
No? 2018?
Yeah, I was here in 2018, but those events happened in the 80s, I guess?
No, 1997. 1997, and then
the 90s.
And then the governor, he tried to downplay it. But now he comes out saying that he was kind of coerced to say that because he didn't want to panic here.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, I look out, you see me all the time. I'm looking outside the window, just seeing if I see anything.
There's a lot of people here in Phoenix that always go outside trying to check if they spot something, but they haven't spotted anything.
Well, now we're getting more light pollution and stuff like that. But I mean, the actor Kurt Russell, he's been in a lot of movies. He was flying his plane and he reported it. So he was flying his plane towards the lights.
Oh my God.
And he asked if it was a U.S. Air Force thing because he didn't want to crash his plane into something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So even the famous actor, Hollywood actor, saw these lights.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's one of those really cool things being out here. So we have something in Vegas, we have something in Phoenix, and they're just popping up all over the place.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for the big one. I'm waiting for the really big one that's going to happen where no matter what you say, it's right there, black and white in video. Well, color.
Let's see.
Living in color.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see what's going to happen.
Yeah. It was a good talk. What was this? 20 minutes?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we got 20
Yeah.
minutes in. So I think we got a little cute little thing testing out our
Exactly.
equipment.
Thank you so much
You're
for
welcome.
sharing this.
Of course. Of course. I'm here for you.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Well, it's your show. You got to do the outro.
Oh, well, thank you so much for watching.
Watching, listening,
Oh.
subscribing.
Thank you so much for listening to us.
Yes, listening to us. Yes. Because it's just going to be like a little picture or something like that.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, bye-bye. See you next time.
All right. See you next time. I'll be on the next episode. Like, subscribe to Karla. Check out her channel. And I think the next thing we're going to do some couple talks, and we'll set up an email account so you guys could like send your questions in or just write it in the comments for now. Then her and I will have a discussion on it as a couple. She is a mental health profession, so we will be touching on unique topics. And the next thing her and I will do with the video, we are going to talk about the miniseries, temporary television miniseries on HBO, which is Love and Death, which is about the murder that happened by Candace Montgomery. Is it self-defense? And do you agree with the mental health diagnosis that was used by the defendants? So we'll get into depth with that because I'm a movie buff and I love crime, but also you're in mental health. So this is where our worlds collide. So that'll be the next topic for you guys to watch. But like and subscribe, and please write your comments down below, and we'll definitely have a talk.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye.
See you next time.
See you next time.